Yo, what up, y'all? IntraVenus here, back with another episode of P.O.L Game Review and Music, and today it's number 19 of my Spawn collecting episodes. So close to number 20, man. I must have easily covered 100 figures, I think. I have 5 more figures today, including a bonus at the end of the episode if you stick around till the end. So, let's get into the first action figure. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, y'all. The first figure today is from the very first series, and I actually had to go all the way back and watch all my old episodes to see if I've actually mentioned the original medieval Spawn. Not a color variant, not the gold one, not the one in the gift set. This is the original medieval Spawn from series 1. This came out in 1994, bringing it all the way back to the beginning. And this is one of my maybe my favorite action figure in the first series. Medieval Spawn in his original paint variant is blue with red and white. He's got his shield that features the Spawn logo. He's got his sword. Of course, it comes with the comic book. And there weren't clip and collects featured on the back of these until later on. So no clip and collect descriptions for Series 1. However, there are some cool pictures on the back that you'll see feature all the images of the first stuff that ever came out for Spawn figures and Todd Toys before they changed the name. And you'll see original Spawn number 1. We got Tremor, Medieval Spawn, Clown, Violator, Overkill, and the Spawn Mobile, Violator Monster Rig, and Spawn Alley. And the back of this I've mentioned before a long time ago that I noticed the Violator on the back isn't actually a picture of the Violator that's featured in Series 1. That's actually a picture of a minifigure that came out at some point along the beginning of the line. And then the picture of Spawn Alley is just a drawing of what Spawn Alley was to be. Didn't actually have the actual picture of Spawn Alley there, but this is really cool. Back then, Spawn action figures were made for ages 4 and up, and they weren't ultra action figures back then. They were just action figures. So here we have Medieval Spawn with this spin action shield knife and giant evil slaying sword, and that wonderful comic book on the inside that I won't be reading until I get one. I never owned the Medieval Spawn comic book. No, actually I had to have because I owned the figure, but I don't remember reading the comic book. For some reason I only have Violator and Spawn comic books from the original back from my original figures, but whatever. I really like this action figure, and I think anybody who's into Spawn probably does too, so let's get into the next action figure. Alright, another one bringing it back. We have Future Spawn here. This is a color variant of Future Spawn with the black, gray, and a little bit of red. The original variant was red and silver with a little bit of black here and there. I have featured Future Spawn on this show before, but not this color variant, just the original. And I do have one other one to feature in a future episode as well. Future Spawn is really sick. He's from Series 3. And on the back, you'll see that the series also included The Curse, Redeemer, Violator 2, Spawn 2, Cosmic Angela, Vertebreaker, Ninja Spawn, and of course, Future Spawn. This was one of the top sets, I think, because really every action figure in this particular series is just, it's really good. I mean, I might go as far as to say Cosmic Angela is the least cool one, and I kind of like Cosmic Angela, so. They also have Spawn Series 1 listed here, and Spawn Series 2. They got Wetworks and Youngblood Series 1 of each of those, and of course there is a clip and collect. I really like this Spawn action figure because it's so massive. It comes in a really big box, yes, so the clip and collect has this to say. Future Spawn. Just as spawns have existed in the past, this Spawn exists sometime in the distant future. As his enemies have evolved over the centuries, so has Spawn and his hardware. Having no arms or legs, Spawn's costume has replaced the Void with cybernetic versions of his limbs. Even his main cannon is cybernetically fused through his chest, making him a walking arsenal. Yeah, this one is really intricate. There's a lot of little moving parts, and the wings or whatever go up and down. He can stand in a lot of different shapes. I always really liked this one. Had it when I was a kid, and I'm glad to have, I think, every variant there is. I'm still looking to double check. There might be one more packaging variant that I need. But we're going to go over variants in its own episode coming up. So look out for that. Let's get into the next action figure. Alright, next up we have the second that has been featured in this series. This is the Techno Spawn series, which is actually Spawn Series 15. And in this series, we had a few action figures, but I had featured Code Red in a previous episode. This is Cyberspawn. Cyberspawn, unfortunately, my version here has a little bit of yellowing going on. It might not pick up as yellow as it does in person in the camera. It looks kind of yellow here, but the close-ups really made it look clearer than it is, unfortunately. However, I did get it for a really good price, so it was worth it. You'll see that Cyberspawn is a cybernetic version of Spawn. He kinda resembles some sort of like an in-between phase headed up to Future Spawn. If you were looking at that last figure, Future Spawn, and then take a look at this guy. Look at his claws and stuff. I could see some similarities. They're both cybernetic. Except for this one seems to be fully cybernetic, except for maybe his brain. So maybe this is later on. Anyhow, on the back you'll see Cyberspawn, Steel Trap, Iron Express, Warzone, Grey Thunder, and Code Red. And we've got the Movie Maniacs, Series 2, The Beatles, Austin Powers, all that good stuff down there. And, of course, we do have something to read, but they do not have the clip and collects anymore. So we got some attributes to read. Very brief, short, and sweet. Let's see what they have to say. Cyberspawn. Weapons. Armor-slashing blade. Claws. And tail. Specialty. Ground assault leader. Specialty equipment. Nuclear, biological, chemical warfare protection. That's the NBC. As well as stealth protection shield with an M in parentheses there. And his code is CSP. Code Red also had the nuclear, biological, chemical NBC suit as his specialty equipment. I don't know a whole lot about the spawns when they get later on down here. Let me know what you know about Techno Spawn. This is the original variant, or the original paint job we got going on here. It's got some red tubes and really massive claws. Actually, it's pretty badass. I hope y'all enjoyed that one, as we are going on to the next action figure. Come on. Here we have our fourth figure for the episode. This is from Series 24. You'll notice in this episode I am going in chronological order. We started all the way at the beginning. Now we are at 2003. So we've gone up another decade plus, and this is the classic comic covers, Series 24. And here we have the Spawn I-64 cover from Spawn issue number 64. Now that is pretty sick here. You know, this is different than any of the other ones that I have. The packaging is quite different. Unfortunately, this one is also kind of yellowed. I don't know if you could see once again in the camera, but hopefully you could pick it up pretty well. Not the yellow, but the actual figure. I got it as a really good deal, so no worries once again. So what happened here is they were creating figures that directly resembled certain covers of comics in the Spawn series, and this one resembled the cover of issue number 64. It's got some, there's a stand in there. I think there's like a mini comic book cover. image that you like, some kind of poster or something. I wish I could pull it out, but I don't really want to. There's some assembly required, it says. This is for ages 13 and over. When they started, this is pretty much a statue. I mean, his arms might move. He does come with a gun and a knife, so it's kind of an action figure
for teenagers.
On the back, you'll see it also featured Spawn from issue number 109. We got Spawn from issue number 98, Spawn from issue number 39, Spawn from issue number 43. We got the Black Knight and Battle Horse from Spawn the Dark Ages, number 23. And we have, there was a deluxe box set actually, Spawn from Spawn, Hellspawn, issue number 1, I guess, says HS. And then we got the Spawn issue number 88. This is all Spawns. It's just a whole lot of Spawns, except for this one. Our 24th series of Spawn action figures takes a more traditional route and focuses on interpreting various comic book covers from the rich gallery of Spawn comic artwork. This one's pretty unique to me as far as what's popped into the collection so far, so I'm intrigued. It says comic shop locator service on the box. There's 888 comic book phone number. I haven't noticed that before. And it doesn't say. I have to go back and read issue number 64. Is that Al Simmons? I don't think that's not Al Simmons, man. Man, I'm gonna look stupid for not knowing the name of who is this? Somebody just tell me who this is. I'll look it up and I'll probably put it on the screen down here if I figure it out. Make me look dumb. Anyways, this is pretty cool. I think it's the least cool out of this set, and some of these figures go for a lot of money. I have seen the Hellspawn one going for a pretty good price. Some of them get pretty pricey once it gets here and up. So what do y'all think about that? Let me know in the comments. And we're going to our last figure. Here we go. Here we have another new figure. This is from 2021, I believe. Yes. Last episode, I think I featured Dark Redeemer from the same series. And then also from the same series, I had opened the original variant. Here we have the Platinum Edition. And I didn't even realize that this had come out until recently. And I ordered it when I saw it because I seemed to need to collect every single one of these for some reason. I don't know what's wrong. This one has green wings and an alternate weapon. Yes, got a different sword there and green wings. Not entirely green. They're mostly green with a little bit of silver on them. And this is got the McFarlane Platinum Edition stamp there. There is no clip and collect, as you know, but you'll see it's very similar to the one that I have already opened, actually. It's the only difference that I've noticed is the wings and the sword. And, of course, that nice little shiny Platinum Edition sticker there. On the back, you'll see it features the original and not this Platinum variant. I thought that was pretty cool, and it was not expensive, so I had to pick it up because I haven't seen as many of these as I thought there were, and I have an addiction to Spawn stuff. And that takes us to the end of the episode, where I said I had a little surprise, as I'm putting at the end of all these now. So you're sticking around, thanks a lot, and this is Spawn related, and I'm going to show you that. This is a custom-made Spawn 3D printed statue that I picked up from a local vendor at like this street fair thing that was going on. I think I paid $6 for this. And I know it's not that special, especially if you're into making 3D printed stuff. You probably look at this and you're like, man, I got that mold in my programs, a file or whatever. This is just pretty awesome to me. I've always kind of been into the idea of creating custom action figures, doing custom painting, and when I got it, I was thinking it would be really fun to paint this. But after looking at it, I kind of just like the different changing hues, the black and blue mixed together there, the shininess. It's not bad. And though up close you'll see that it's kind of glued together, in a shoddy fashion. If you flip it upside down, there's some obvious markings that this was homemade. But when you put it back here and you stare at it from a distance every day, it's actually really cool and really worth $6 or whatever. So that's my little surprise for this end part of the episode. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end. If you like this, please hit the like and subscribe buttons because it really encourages me to make more of these, and I'm losing all my money on Spawn figurines. So until next time, I'll catch you on the flip. Peace.
Well, that was just childhood. We were all there together, and in denial would play like it was forever. And in the tall woods, we'd stay out of the weather like it was all good. Every day we made it for pleasure. We were saying whatever came to our minds, plain and simple like a tether.